Hello, and welcome to a new video. Today, I am starting another episode of To Buy and Buy, which is episode 3. And To Buy and Buy is, if you don't know, basically just me reading library books digitally. Not necessarily library books. I think they all have been library books. I'm thinking, yes. And understanding if I like them enough to buy them, because I'm trying to get better at not buying everything I read. I like usually bought them before, but now it's easier to if I actually borrow them and then I don't like it. It's very much easier to just be like, I don't need to own this, even though before I had this compulsion to own it anyway. Just realized that this vlog series probably not going to be that many episodes because I might just like take the things I'm borrowing into just the ordinary other vlogs. But I was planning to at least do like this episode and maybe one more. It's just a fun to be like more thoughtful about what I'm reading, what I'm buying. I guess. Not what I'm reading, definitely what I'm buying. I just realized that this could be better if like I know a special edition is coming and then I could read a book that special edition is coming a bit to be like, should I buy the special edition? But I mean, it would still be the same because if I wouldn't buy the normal edition, why would I even buy the special one? You know? Either way, yesterday I did start the first book for this vlog already, or start and finish it, which is Diavola by Jennifer Thorne. I basically wanted to read this because someone said they were reading it. I think I was on Sprints. And I looked it up and it was this cover and I was like, that is so haunting and eerie and seemed really cool. I read the book. I did not think it was that cool. It was Anne was like on holiday with her family and there's just drama and then there's ghosts. And I just didn't think the atmosphere or the writing was good enough for me to be interested in really in anything. I thought it would be like, you know, scary or at least being like where I felt with the characters and anything really. And I was just reading it and I was just, is anything even happening? Are we even in a scary book? I actually don't know. But it was not for me. It was not for me. And honestly, like before, I would have bought this in a second because I would have looked at this cover and I'd be like, I need to own this because this is a stunning book. But the insides were not for me. It was just very uninteresting and just very flat, and it just felt like a drama. With even not interesting drama, by the way, because if a drama had been interesting and the dynamics had been interesting, it doesn't need to be like a jump scare book or anything. And not that I ever been jump scared by a book, but you got what I meant. But like, it could have been a slow, airy read, a bit like Haunting of Hill House, the first season, or the second for that matter, where you just deeply care about the characters and it's not like scary in your face all the time, constantly. You know what I mean? It could have been like that because there's a lot of drama there and I love that, but it was not. And I gave it 2 stars. So definitely not buying this one. Like, no, not buying this one. And I already have 2 other books checked out of the library, which I need to read like within the next few days because they're expiring. So you should see me very soon. And yeah, welcome to episode 3 of To Buy and Buy. Okay, hello. So I did read When Among Crows by Veronica Roth for this vlog because I was very curious about it. I saw like raving reviews. It's a short story from the author of Divergent, and I haven't read a single book by the author since Divergent. I haven't even read the last Divergent book for that matter. I only read 1 and 2, and I think the 4 side story thing. And I never read like any of the other works, even though I have some of them. This one is like a short story collection where this girl is trying to, well, basically break this curse. It's set in the city, and it's really like monsters feeds on humans, etc. And I guess we had interactions with characters, and I thought part of it was a bit cool. It was really well written, and I feel like the atmosphere was well. I just found like since it was a short story, sometimes I struggle with connecting and like really caring for everything because it's, you know, it is short. It wasn't terrible, but I didn't love it either. I thought I would enjoy more. I had really hopes to enjoy it more, but I ended up giving like a 3 and feeling totally fine by it, and I don't really feel like I need to own it. I guess like while I say it's well written, I also felt like I didn't immerse myself that well into the story, even though it was well written. I guess the plot and like the world, even though some of it sounded and was cool, I just again struggle with immersing myself because everything happened so quickly because obviously it's a short thing. So I wish I loved it more, but I just didn't. I feel like it was cool, but ultimately didn't live up for the coolness that I thought that I would feel. And therefore didn't buy it. I don't really have that much more to say than that. That was like the shortest update in the world. It's a short thing. It has a cool cover. A part of me is like, if I maybe audiobooked it, for example, which is very short, maybe I would have been able to immerse myself in a different way. I noticed that lately. That's just because never they're really good, man. or something. I guess that's what I got to say, and then I will, soon when I read another book for this vlog, as per usual. Hello! So I read a nice book for this vlog, and I was going to update, and then I just didn't because life. But I did read it, and it was Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, and this one is a romance book, and it is following this woman who is a doctor but not a surgeon, and her family is surgeons, and they've been looking down on her forever. She's just come out of her abusive relationship with like the head surgeon, and the family loves him, and she's like ew because he's abusive. And she meets this really sweet guy called Daniel in like this small town like 2 hours away from where she lives, and they fall for each other deeply. And it was just like the sweetest thing. I absolutely fell in love with their story and then falling for each other, like the kindness, the grace that they showed for each other in the story. It was just so good. I was just like fangirling, I was crying, I was up in tears. It was just so good. I love the characters. I love how their problems, because it's called Part of Your World because like they're from different worlds. And it's called that because they are from different worlds. Like he's from a small town. He doesn't like have, I guess, like the same background and like ambitions that in the way she does, that she's grown up in a toxic way that she has grown up in. And just the way that this was handled and talked about, it was just so tender, and it made sense to me, like why they couldn't be together, what I felt like they couldn't be together. It's not like just miscommunication. It wasn't even that. It was more like it made complete sense, which I feel like in a lot of romances, it's like they're not making any sense to just get their shit together, if you know what I mean. But they didn't do that here, and I just felt like the characters were so well rounded. I felt like the conflicts, as I said, felt real, and their love felt real, and I felt completely for it. It's not even like smutty, which like I usually enjoy smut, but this was just perfect for what it was. And the same day I finished it, I did go ahead and just bought myself a copy. So we have another buy for this series. I just like, can I go on in my life without owning this? No. And I just want to look at it. I want to like feel the joy that I felt reading it. And I feel like I could reread and just fangirl over these people, especially Daniel. He was such a sweetheart. And then I also just went ahead and bought Yours Truly as well, which is the sequel, but like it's more like a romance trilogy where they're done. It's not the same people we're following, but like the other people from the other books will appear. The thing that annoys me though is that these don't match. Like this is the UK edition, but they didn't even use the same font. Like they're in the same height, but they didn't use the same font. The spines don't match. I'm like, can I return it? And a part of me is like, what if Lima Crates, they have their romance box? What if they do this trilogy? And if it's pretty, I might get that instead. And like, why would I do with these paperbacks? But what if they don't, what if they don't? So I feel like I would just keep to them. I also know that just for the summer, Just for One Summer is out, which is the third one in the trilogy, and I'm planning to get them as well. But I just feel like everyone loves this more than this one, so I hope I love this as much. This was a 5-star read for me. I did round it up to 5, but it's like a 5-star read. It was so enjoyable. This is the second romance this year that I gave it 5 stars. It just hits all the spots for me, and I managed to do it so well, and I loved it, and I'm so happy I did, because I've just been reading books that have been crap lately, and I'm so happy. And then I actually read the next book for this vlog. Speaking about books that are crap, I read Better Than the Movies by, I don't even remember the name of the author, Lynn Painter, and I hated it. Like, I actually hated it, and I didn't think I was going to. I thought it was going to be a fun, cute romance, but I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like very trying to be like a romance movie in a way, and we have many references to romance movie to talk about movies a lot and mention and reference different stuff a lot. But the reason I hated it is the way it was written. It was very like, oh my god, LOL, oh my god, I can't believe you thought that. Oh my god, he was so, it was like written in that tone of story, and I just couldn't get behind it at all. I was just like, it was like reading, for me, it was like reading from a child's point of view in a way, and nothing wrong with reading from a child's point of view if that is your intention, but it was not. It was just like the voice of the story and the writing just didn't match with me at all. I absolutely detested it. I just read a bit and I was just like, are we 12? And I just hated it. I didn't care for the romance. I didn't care for it a slightest. I gave it 1 star, but it honestly deserves 0. I really, really did not like this book, and I haven't felt this strongly about not liking a book in a while, even though this year is truly the year of me enjoying books. So I would not be buying that one. Definitely not. And I was close to one day at work. I was like debating different books to buy, and then that was in the options, but then I decided to, as we know, borrow it instead. I'm very glad I did, and I just like, it was not for me at all. And I went in to see reviews and everyone loves it and gave it like 4 and 5 stars, and I'm like, what is going on? Did we read the same book? Did we read the same story? Because it was The writing, the tone, it was just not it. I just didn't care the slightest for anything. So there's that. So now I read 3 books for this vlog. I'm waiting for some books to come off hold to fill in this vlog. So you shall see me then. And yay for a victory and another loss. But I guess is it a loss though? Because I saved money. So there's that. Yay. Hello. So I read another book for this vlog, which was One of Our Kind by Nicola Yoon. This is the newest Nicola Yoon. It's kind of like pushed as an adult thriller mystery kind of thing, and I was curious about it because obviously I wouldn't say I love everything because things can be said about that book, but I enjoyed The Sun Was Also a Star and enjoyed Instructions for Dancing, and I respect her as an author, and I wanted to check out this book. And this is about this town where Black people moved to like basically where there only live Black people to get away from this terrible society that we live in, so that like they can be in a community where they feel safe, but something is going on there, and I guess you have to read it to find out. And I will admit, when reading it, that I found the book engaging, very easy to read. You're very fascinated with what is actually going on there, and it's absolutely terrible. Obviously, I don't agree or think that anything like that they were doing there was okay by any means, but I did admit a part of myself did enjoy, like, I guess, unraveling it. But when you come to like the core of it, I started to read some reviews, and I saw a lot of Black reviewers coming out and talking about how this book really, I was going to say, put forward that being Black is only about the trauma they have lived through and like the trauma they experience, and that is being Black. And I just like, it took me a moment because I went to check reviews like right after finishing the book, where I was like, yeah, why did the author do that? It's just a weird choice. And I don't know if she did it on purpose. I'm like trying to reflect here. If she did it on purpose in a way that, since Black people are generalized already in a certain kind of way, like stereotypical racist and all that, obviously, maybe she's just like feeding into that machine to show that that is stupid. Maybe that's what she's trying to do. I cannot for the life of me imagine that Nicola Yu thinks that Black people are only made of the trauma they have gone through. That doesn't make any sense, like, because that is kind of what you are left with in the book. And I a part of me understand maybe what the author was trying to say with this book, because obviously she doesn't represent this as a good thing. She represents the thing that they are doing absolutely terrible, and I get that she doesn't think it's okay, and obviously it is a fiction book, but it's just like, when you think about it, it's like doesn't make sense. I'm just saying to her, like, what was she trying to say here? I mean, obviously I know what she's trying to say, but the way she represented it, the way it concluded, it ultimately doesn't work, and I'm confused. So yeah, it's a really hard book to, I would say, rate. I'm definitely not gonna buy it, even though I thought it was interesting to read, because like, as I said, you're unraveling this mystery and you're like, what is going on here? Because you do think it's gonna come to a certain like thing that is gonna, I was gonna say, turn the tables around, and it does, but not in the way you expect. And I completely understand and see why Black people would be upset reading this, because when I think more on it, like, I was kind of thinking it when I was reading it, but I saw the book maybe like as like a, I don't even know what to say, like not a commentary, but like a satire, like almost like a troll towards like what people think. So that is how I was thinking it. But then you ask yourself, well, what is the audience for this book? Nicola Yoon has like been on interviews and stuff, and I saw like glimpses of that, and like she wants to write about Black people, she wants to write about like their experiences, etc. But I feel like this is a book by a Black woman, a bit like written almost not towards Black people. Like, it's not written for the audience she's writing about, I feel like, and that is where she misses, I think. And I just need to reflect for a moment, because as I said, when I was sitting there finishing the book, I was just sitting there like, wait, what? Because I thought it was some kind of like satire in a way, but it ended up not being that in a way that I thought it would, I guess. And I'm sitting left now like, why? So yeah, I'm not gonna buy it, but I did borrow it at the library, and like, I didn't pay for it, and I read it, and it was an experience. I'm very unsure for how I feel like about this adult book by the author. I'm interested to see if she would write more YA. But a part of me, a smidge of me, understand what she was trying to do. But I don't think it was the way to do it, personally. That is what I got to say. Check out reviews for this from Black reviewers. Yeah, I do think we have 1 or 2 more books left for this vlog. I don't know, but you should see me done. Hello, I have so much to say. So we shall see how I do. But first of all, I'm very embarrassed because this is over a year later since the last clip for this vlog. Maybe not over the year or a year later, but it is over a year since I started the vlog, because I checked that I started out in July 2024. We are now in August 2025, and this is coming up in September as well, so it will be a bit later. Last clip I filmed was the 8th of September 2024, so that might almost be on the exact 1 year since I last filmed something for this. I don't know what happened, but for some reason I thought I had 1 more book for this vlog. And as you just watched through, I have not, because I have already read 5 books for this vlog, but then I read another one, and that is literally a really long time since I read it, but I was always planning to have it in this vlog, but then I just never filmed that clip. So we have 6 books for this vlog and 5 in all the others. So we first talked about the book and then about what has actually happened, so we try to have some control here. The book I chose out for this vlog was The 13th Child by Erin A. Craig. This is, I think, a standalone by the same author as, oh god, what is that one called? House of Sorrows? I'm checking. House of Salt and Sorrows. Look, I was very close. I very much enjoyed House of Salt and Sorrows, and also its sequel, House of Roots and Ruin. I enjoyed those a lot. So obviously I was curious about The 13th Child and wanted to read it. We had it in store. It was in front of me. I don't even work in a bookstore anymore, as I did earlier this vlog. And I didn't buy it because I was just, what if I don't like it? Let's borrow it in a library. I did, which is the whole point of this vlog. And I read it. So here's the thing, that this one follows the 13th child in this family. She is like the 13th child, and she was promised away when she was a kid to this person who buys her. He is the god of death, is he? He's the god of something. And then she has special powers. She can heal people that he trains her in. And then she grows up to be a healer. And like we have like this dark path of these walking side by side, and her learning about the consequences of saving lives she shouldn't, and learning the consequences of like what he has done for her and how ungrateful she is. And then the story evolves from there. This is about a 500-page book, I believe. And I remember the 251st pages because I read half the first day and then half the next day. And the first 250 pages, I honestly thought that I would give it 5 stars. I had a 5-star feeling. It was amazing. She was on this dark path. She was learning lessons. I can speak. And it was very, very interesting. I was very much a big fan of the book. And I really like, it was very like gothic. As you can see, the cover is quite gothic. And then we went to the second part. And the only thing we did was care about this human boy prince that I didn't care for. And she throws away everything, basically. And I was so annoyed because she throws away everything to be there for this royal family that I don't care for. Can't she help people who actually need it out there, please, lady? And it just became a totally different tone of a story, which was just such a weird shift for me. And I was just so displeased. The last chapter I enjoyed. I remember this book apparently very quite well because I was enjoying it so much, but then I wasn't enjoying the second part. So I was so close to buying it, and then as I get to the second part, I very much didn't like it anymore. I think I ended on like a 3.5 rating. I did round it up to 4 because I did enjoy the beginning so much, and I do think that other people might like the story more, but because of the shift in the story, I just didn't like it, and I did end up not buying it because if it had stand in like the story it was starting out to write, then I would have loved it, but I did not. It was so close. It was so close to being a really, really good read, but ultimately it let me down. But I do think that this author is great at writing atmosphere, and I do think that she's great in writing a good scenario that I am interested in because I have been surprised by all of her books. This one did hit, and it changed too much of what I enjoyed in it, so I ended up not liking it. So we ended up with not buying this one, and we ended up buying 2 books for this vlog because I am counting the fact that I did also buy yours truly together with Part of Your World. So while I didn't read yours truly in this vlog, I have read it since. I still counting it as a book bought. So for this video, we said bye to 5, we bought 2, and we unhauled 0. And we have the stats here. For the total of this whole series so far, we have said bye to 14 books. We have bought 3 and unhauled 2. I don't remember what have we unhauled 2? I don't remember what one of the books were that we unhauled. I can't remember what I read for the last episodes because it's been over a year. Now, back to the fact that it's been over a year, I have new glasses. I also have a new camera, but I filmed this on the old one to match the other clips. I also mentioned earlier that I have other Veronica Watt books that I haven't read. I have now since read them, and I also read all of the Abby Jimenez trilogy and gave every single book in that series 5 stars. So worth it. And I was planning to actually put this series down because I thought that this would be my last episode, but now I'm in a different kind of project where I am reading down my TBR, which will come after this one because it takes quite a long while to film that. So I might bring this back again when I finish with that, because then it would be interesting to read more books. But it's basically just no more reading vlog if I want to own something or not. But then I can theme it more. I ultimately just forgot, I think, when I was continuing this vlog over several months, because I started, as I said, in June or July, and then the last clip was September last year. And in September, apparently I had forgotten that I read Diavola for this vlog, apparently, because now that I was editing after a year, I realized that we already had 5 books for this vlog, and I could have posted this last September. I have a couple of videos that are like a bit leftover, but I don't think there's anything wrong with posting them later. A year later is a bit long, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it inherently. Like, it's fine, like, it's still a fun little vlog, and I don't think that this vlog was bad. I don't know what was going on. Do you think it maybe is cool if I bring it back later? But that was the 3rd episode. That was supposed to be the last, but might not be the last after all. So it was good to see you. It was funny to watch through these clips finally. I don't have much more to say than that. Then I think that it was a successful series as long as it survived. I don't know, I never edited through it though, but here we are. And thank you so much for watching this. Leave a dead face emoji down below, the skeleton, because the last one was about death and healing and stuff. And just see me soon in a new one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!